The theme of this session is Updating Teacher Training Through Visual Thinking, prepared by Dr. Sué Gutiérrez Berciano. What is visual thinking, and what is it for? Trying to answer both questions, the following video is presented. We will see how visual thinking allows us to take advantage of the ability that we as human beings have to see our reality in order to discover ideas that would otherwise remain hidden. Visual thinking allows clarifying and sharing that knowledge. There are 4 basic phases for the development of visual thinking in the classroom. 1. Look, gather information, capture the most important and relevant. 2. See, pay attention and choose the data that interests us to express our point of view. 3. Imagine, transform the words, the text, into simple images. Process the data in simple visual metaphors or ideograms that show the hierarchical relationships between terms. 4. Show, share the production and socialize the proposal. Simplicity and clarity define the quality criteria of the final proposal. At a cognitive level, we must know that the basic processes that come into play in this didactic strategy are ideation and graphic composition. Regarding the ideation, we have that this generation of ideas must be gradually evaluated to know if this graphic composition is efficient and didactic, and for this, pre-established thought routines must be established that will allow us to formalize and systematize the activity. The objective is that this final product supposes a general vision that helps the student to connect complex concepts with more basic concepts. That is to say, to simplify the complexity, or what is the same, to make the complexity didactic. How to develop visual thinking in the classroom. We present a specific case. We are faced with the challenge of teaching epistemology of education to students who have recently joined the university. Even reversing the order of the agenda, the semantic and lexical relationships that epistemology require a great effort for the student body. What can we do? Well, let's put visual thinking into practice. First, we ask students to think about 3 concepts for educational purposes. They will progressively write on the blackboard a brainstorming that gradually and by the repetition of concepts will be modified. It will need to be ordered, increase or decrease certain terms. Therefore, the final product is a cloud of ideas. Secondly, it is intended that the students appropriate their own and specific concepts of education. To do this, they must start from the previous cloud of ideas, and after reading a scientific article that addresses certain epistemological terms, the students are asked to modify, improve and create a conceptual map, this time in which if they wish they can include ideograms or visual metaphors. The example shows a ladder whose structure is supported by pedagogy and indicates the different steps that we must climb to reach education. It should be said at this point that this ladder, like the rest of the exhibited graphic productions, requires specific corrections. But they are interesting to be able to develop the different didactic strategies related to visual thinking in the classroom. Thirdly, it is time to review the proposed nomological network, and for this the students will be given a second scientific reading. The final product must incorporate the relevant ideograms. In this case, the student has used a visual metaphor. In the center of the heart is education, and in its most important parts its most related terms: training, instruction, teaching or learning. And finally, we have that the final product must be a graphic composition through ideograms or visual metaphors, as is the case, that projects the explicit relationship between the different terms used. Now it's your turn to try. The challenge is yours as a teacher.